And there is a context object name. And what is a context object name? EM. But we'll create a template where I'll render these details. Okay. Now here I'm creating a template. Here I'm creating a template. So details, EMP details. So what is the name of the template? EMP details dot HTML. EMP details dot HTML. So this is my template. And in this, I'm trying to render whose details? Employee details. So here I'm trying to render employee details. Okay. I'm trying to render employee details. Okay. So what are those employee details? Okay. So that is nothing but employee number. You need to insert employee number. So that is nothing but EMP dot employee number. What is EMP is? EMP is nothing but context object name or not? Yes. Which is sent as a part of render. Means this object you are rendering, this object you are rendering into what? Template. What is EMP is? Result of executed query. What is EMP is? Result of executed query. Then again I'm writing table row. So table column and employee name. This is employee name and I'm writing table column and you are inserting EMP dot ename. Okay, again I'm writing table row and there is a table column and this is employee job and table data and you are inserting EMP dot job. Again table row and table data and this is employee salary and table data and you are inserting EMP dot and what is the name of the column is salary. So just open MySQL command line and just verify what is your database is. Use database to a yes. Now show tables here. So you are retrieving data from which model? You are retrieving the data from application one underscore employee. Select star from application one underscore what? Employee. Application one underscore employee. Now these are the details. Okay. Now we have done this. So just display the details. Just display the details. So this is details view. So give the template name. What is the template name? EMP details dot EMP details dot HTML. EMP details dot HTML, right? So that's all. Now define the URL. So define the URL for this view. So comma. So EMP detail view, and define the path. So EMP detail, EMP detail slash integer, and this is which key? Primary key. What is a primary key in your what is a primary key in your model? Employee number. Employee number is what? Primary key. Describe. So always it will read using primary key. If primary key is not there, it will take ID. If the primary key is not there, it will try to use which one? ID. It will use the ID for retrieving it. Okay. So which one is the primary key here? Employee number. So comma. Okay. Now what is the name of the view is? EMP details as a view. Okay. You are converting this into callable. Okay. Right. So after this, run the server. Okay. Manage.py, run server. So run the server and then send a request. You have to send a request along with the employee number. So what is the name of this is EMP detail slash what is the employee number is 1. Employee number is 1. Employee number 1. You can see what details these are employee 1 details. Okay, so it will try to retrieve it by using what primary key. If I am sending employee number 2, now these are employee number 2 details. But what will happen if I'm trying to give the employee number 12? But 12 is there or not there? Not there. So immediately it is generated what here? Error. The current path matched the last ones here. If I write it as a 12, now this is the exist or not exist? Not exist. But here we have not handled the error page, right? So if the employee is not exist, okay, we have not defined the error template. We have not defined the error template. Now you can see when I enter this, not found employee details slash 12, and means this record is exist or not exist, not exist. Okay, yes. Now this is retrieving how many employees, one employee or multiple employees, one employee. It is not for multiple employees. It is retrieving how many employees, one employee. Yesterday I showed you. Now you can just see the structure of this, not this one. Uh, where is that here? Detail view. But it will try to display it by using, yes, it will try to display it by using which key? Primary key. Okay, it will try to display it by using which one? Primary key, right? So I don't know where it is yesterday. See, if you want, you can see in the documentation, this is generic view classes. And in generic view classes, you have, so these are the models, and you can see there's a different types of, okay. So this is adding some extra content. Yesterday we have seen, right? So this is a list view. Yesterday I said about this is list view, and this is, you can modify get query set. Okay. So this is a detail view where you are trying to send a primary key. Okay, right? Now you are trying to get the object by calling the superclass. Okay. So this is how exactly it will work. Now this is called as which view? Details view, right? Okay, then next one is, okay, next one is, now there are other predefined views out there. There are other predefined views out there. And what is another view is, now here I'm adding here only. So there is a model name and context object name. So this is in views.py, in views.py. Okay. And then here I created one template and emp details.html. So emp details.html, this template I added here. So remaining is same. And URL, I added one URL. So that will get the data using which key? Primary key. that will get the data using primary key, right? Okay. Now these are generic detail view. And next one is there is one more predefined view is there. And what is the name of the view is create view. There's one more view called create view. So there is a create view and it is also a generic view class. It is also a generic view class and create view. So create view is used for creating. So creating a new record. If you want to create a new record or insert a row, within database table. But generally, if you want to create a record, how you create a record? Generally, you create a record. See, create view is used for creating a new record or insert a row within database table. If you want to insert a row within the database table, you are trying to use which view? Create view. Suppose if you want to create a new record, if it is a function based view, what code you are writing? Okay, if it is a function based view, suppose if I am writing a function based view, suppose create. Okay, it is having a request. What it is having a request and what request having input data. What request is having input data. You read data from request. You read data from request. After reading data from request, you try to validate. So validate data and then insert data within model. Insert data within what here? Model. So you do all these things. If it is function based, you are doing all these things, right? But when it is a class based, now class based create view, what it will provide? It will provide, okay, so create view, class based create view, class based create view provides, okay, provides the following operations, or properties. Properties. What are the properties it define? It will provide, what do you call it as? Predefine which one? Form. It will provide a predefined form. Predefined form. It is providing one predefined form. Predefined form. So what is the meaning of this? Are you creating a form or form is provided? Form is provided. Predefined form. It is providing a predefined form and form validations. You can do form validations by customizing it, form validations, and it will provide the logic for, okay, inserting, it will provide the logic for inserting which one? Data. It is providing a logic for inserting data. All these are provided by which view? Create view. Okay, all these are provided by which view? Create view. So it is providing a predefined form validations, logic for inserting data. Logic for inserting data, right? So you don't require to write a logic. So that is written as a part of which method? Get method. It is written in which method? Get method. You don't require to write it. It is already written in which method? Get method, right? So it is providing one predefined form and form validations, logic for inserting data. Suppose if you want to input the data, what do you require? A form. What do you require? A form. Okay, and you enter the data within the form and click on what? Submit. Once you click on submit, this request is sent to what here? View. And this view will read this form data. And after reading this data, it will try to verify is it this data is valid or not. If the valid, then it will try to insert this data within the model or within the table. So all this logic is taken care by which view here? Create view. Whereas you don't require to write anything. It is provided by which class? Predefined view class. Predefined view class. You don't require to write this. Okay. So what is the name of the class is? create view. So this is a create view. So which is used for creating a record. See, to create a sorry, it is a generic. So display handling form validations here. Just now I said, okay, simplify displaying the form for model handling the form validations and saving a new object to what? Database. If you want to save the data, if you want to insert the data, you are inserting the data by using which one? Create view. And for working with a create view, what you required? You required a model because where you are inserting a data in the model and you have to create a view and you have to define certain properties and you have to render. I said it will provide a form. It will provide one form. It will provide a form, a predefined form, and you are using that form to render that inside what? Template. You are rendering that inside what? Template. It means you don't require to create a form. The form is created by whom? Create view only, right? So what are the basic steps to work with this create view? So just as here, now this is used for both create view. Now this is what I said. Okay, there is a content type, all these things are there. So you have a success URL. Okay, there is a success URL means unsuccessful insertion of data where you want to, okay, you want to display what? So that is defined by using which one? Success URL. Okay, and there is a context object name and these are HTTP methods and there is a query set. Here it is not required. Okay, and there is all these are other methods. All these are what here? Other methods provided by what is the name of this class is create view. Now in this, what you represent? Now you have a form class, fields, you define the fields and you also define which class? Form class name. So there is a form class name and you have an HTTP methods and you define what name? Model name. And if you want to add some more information, then you can get the context object and you can add more information about this. Okay. So what are the things you define here? Okay. So what is the syntax of create view? Now there is a class and create view class name and why we are using a create view for inserting data. Now you are writing a create view. So create view class name, insert a create view and then followed by model class name. So you define the model class name or model name. So define the model name here. Okay, which model you are using it, model name, and then define what do you call it as success URL. So there is an attribute called which one? Success URL means on successful insertion of data, unsuccessful insertion of data, you want to redirect to which view? On successful insertion of data, you want to redirect it to which view? That is represented by using what? Success URL. On successful insertion of data, you want to redirect to which view? Okay, that is defined by using success URL. It's nothing but a view. So view to display on successful insertion of data. Unsuccessful insertion of data. Unsuccessful insertion of data, you want to redirect to which view? On successful insertion of data, you want to redirect to which view? That is defined by using what? Success URL. Then next one is form name, I mean form class name. So the form class which is used for input. Okay, form class which is used for input data. Okay, this will handle both get request as well as what? Post request. Now this is a form class name. And why we are using a form class for input data? Why we are using a form class for input data? So there is a model name and there is a success URL and there is a form class name and there is a template name. Okay, there is a template name. Now where you want to render this form class. Now here you have to define the name of the template. So it means in which form you want to render. This form you want to render in one template or not? Yes, you need to define the name of the template where you want to render this form class. Where you want to render this form class, you need to define the name of that template. You need to define name of that template. Okay, okay, no problem. MySQL command line is not working. No problem. Use MySQL Navigator. If command line is not working, go for MySQL Navigator. MySQL Navigator workbench is there, no? Just go to MySQL workbench. Okay. If MySQL command line is not working, go to MySQL workbench. You learn MySQL, right? All of you know MySQL. Two databases, MySQL and one more is MongoDB. See, already we have learned all this. Already we have learned how to create using a form based, form based. Okay, model form. Have we discussed model form or not? Yes or no? Yes, sir. But over. Okay, already we discussed all this. Model class, model form. See here. This is a person form. Okay, person form. Person form is person form. Person form is which form? Model form. And here we have done some validations or not? Yes. So it means you are writing this much code. This is which form? Login form. This is which form? Person form. Person form is which form? Model form. And if you want to input data, this model form is rendered within. If you want to input data, this model form is rendered within template and send as a part of response or not? Yes. If you want to create a record, you need to write this much code or not? Yes. You don't require to write this much code here. Understood? You don't require to write this much code. This much code, you don't require to write it. Correct or not? This much code, you don't require to write it. Instead of that, simply what you are doing, you are just giving model name, success URL, form class name, and template name. That's all. You are just giving the input, and rest of the things are taken care by which method? Get method or post method. Get method or what? Post method. Okay. So just to see it. So this is a create view. You have to define the model name, success URL, form class, and template name. So let us write this. Open this. So in the view, I want to insert data. So there is a class. What is the name of this is create. So create EMP view. Create EMP view is which view? Create view. And where you are finding this create view in generic. So comma, what is the name of the view is create view. So inherit create view and define the properties. What are the properties? Model name. And what is the name of the model is employee. What is the name of the model is employee. Then form class. You have to define the form class and form class. But are you created form class? No. Okay, then you have to define the template name. So where you want to render this form, where you want to render this form, then success URL. On successful execution, I want to redirect to what is that list employees. I want to redirect to list view. What is the name of this list employees view? List employees views. I want to redirect to list employees. But are you define the form class? No. Are you define the template? No. But you need to define the form class, and you need to define what name? Template name. So just define the form class. Now develop a form. So open the application one and write here forms dot py, and here from application one dot models import. What is the name of the model is employee. From Django dot forms import, or from Django import, or from Django dot forms import which form? Model form. Okay. Now here I am creating a form. So there is a class. What is the name of this is? Employee form. This is employee form is which form? Model form. And here class, and what is the name of this is? Meta. And define the model name. And what is the model name is? Employee. And I want to include all the fields. Fields equal to what here? All. I want to include all the fields. Okay, I develop the form and assign this form. What is the name of this form class? Just import. So from application one dot forms import. What is the name of the form? Employee form. Just write the form name. Just write the form name. Okay, form class name. And what is the name of the form is? Employee form. Then define the template name. Where you want to render this? I want to render this into one template. And what is the template is? Okay, I just write here create. So create emp dot html. And what is the success URL? Means on successful insertion of data, I want to list all the employees. On successful insertion of data, I want to list all the employees. Okay. Then how can I display? How can I redirect? Now I should assign not response. Okay. Now I need to assign success URL. Means I should assign what? URL. I need to assign what? URL, and you are assigning that URL by using one method called reverse. Reverse is nothing but you are trying to redirect. Redirect is nothing but generating what? Output. It generate the response. It will return the response. It will return the response. But here I have to define what? Array. Here I have to define what? URL. I have to define what? URL. But how can I define the URL? Success URL. I can define the success URL by using one method called which one? Reverse. Okay, reverse. Reverse is a method. And this reverse method is available. This reverse method is available from Django dot. Okay, Django dot URLs import. What is the name of this is? Reverse. Okay, reverse. Now reverse is a method which return, okay, which return the name, which return what? Name. I said a URL can be accessed. A URL can be accessed with the URL, and one more is what? Name. One more is what here? Name. This is a public hard coding this, and this is what here? Private. It means whenever there is a changes in the URL, you don't require do changes in everywhere. You just do changes in what? Name. So this is a public. Okay, this is what here? Private. You don't hard code this. Instead of hard coding this, you access this with what here? Name. You access this with what here? Name. And here I'm giving a name as a EMP list. Now reverse, I just write here reverse. And what is the name of the URL? EMP list. Means unsuccessful. So fields, unsuccessful execution of insertion, or unsuccessful insertion, I should redirect to which view? EMP list. I should redirect to which view? EMP list. Okay. But what you are assigning here, URL, you cannot assign directly. You cannot assign directly by saying this is string. What is this here? String. But you need to represent it as what? URL. And you are representing it as URL by using which method? Reverse. Reverse of, okay, reverse of EMP list. You assign what here? URL. Right? Yes. What is the error here? Forms. Fields are given, right? In the list. All model employee, you have to include all the fields. You are including all the fields. So let us run the server here. Yeah, no problem, because we have to define the template name is not given. Yeah, no problem, because we are not given what name. Okay, we'll complete and check this. Okay. So this is all, and just come to the views, and here asset success URL equal to reverse. And what is the name of this is EMP list, right? And there is a form class. And what is the name of the form class? Employee form. And there is create emp.html. Now create a template. And what is the name of this is create emp.html. Create emp.html. Now this is an HTML. So where you insert the form data. If you want, you can define the context object name. Now there is a context object name. And what is a context object name? In this case, what is a context object name? Which one is a context object name? Form. Which one is a context object name? Form. But by default, context object name is what? Form only. Form only. Context object name is what? Form only. So because you are rendering which form? Employee form into template. You are rendering employee form into template, and that form object is referred with what name? Form. That form object is referred with what name? Form. If you don't write this context object name, what is the default context object name? Form only. Okay, what is the default context object name? Form. Okay, this form is rendered in which template? Create emp.html. Just open create emp.html and write form. So form method equal to post. Form method equal to post, and insert form as what? Paragraph. Insert form as a paragraph, and input type equal to submit, and value input type equal to submit, and value equal to what here? Create. Okay, create means you are trying to insert the data. Yes. Uh, CSRF token. So you are sending a request using which method? Post method. Okay. Yes. Now for this view, you have to define URL. Just go to urls.py, and what is the name of the view is create employee view. So define the path, create EMP, create EMP, and what is the name of the view is create employee view as view, create employee view as a view, right? So this is a URL. Okay, just to see what I've done is I develop a form. Why I develop a form? To input data. Why I develop a form? To input data. You have to input data, right? You have to input data. And how you input the data? How you input the data? How you input the data? By using form. You required a form or not? Yes, you required a form. And which form you have used here? Model form. And what is the name of the model you are using? Employee. And in this, you are including all the fields in this model. And this model form, and this form is rendered into what? Or this form is rendered into what? Template. This form is rendered into what? Template. Okay, this form is rendered into template. And this form, now just see in the views.py. In the views.py, what is the view you are creating? Create view. And create employee view, inherit which view? Create view. What is the model you are using? Employee. It means you are inserting data into which model? Employee. Okay, now you input data using which class? Or you input data in which form? Employee form. And this employee form is rendered in which template? This employee form is rendered into which template? Create EMP HTML. On successful insertion, it is redirecting to which list? Employee list. That's it. But are you write any logic by overriding get method? No. There's no get method. There's no post method. So actually I have to handle this by overriding how many methods? Two methods. One is get and one more is what? Post. But are you writing any get and post? No. These are inherited from which class? Create view. Okay, already we have seen this logic. I don't require to explain this logics. See here. This is a logic what we have done. See, person form. We created a person, and then what we are doing? We are creating a form. This is which form? This is which form? Person form. Person form is which form? Model form. Okay, model form. Login form is which form? Model form. If you want to insert data, how much code you are writing? If it is a function based view, you are writing how much code? If the request method is get, you are creating which form? Empty form. If the request method is post, you are reading data from the form and you are checking is it this data is valid or not. If it is valid, you are saving the data and returning what? Response. But are you writing all this code? No. You are not writing all this code. You are not writing all this code. You are just giving only inputs. You are not writing all this code. You are just giving only inputs. Inputs you are giving to which form, which class? Create view class. What are the inputs you are giving? Tell me, what are the inputs you are giving? Model. Means you want to insert data into which model? Employee. You want to input data using which form? Employee form. This employee form you are rendering into which template? Create EMP template. Then on successful insertion, you want to display which list? Employee list. That's all. But are you write this lengthy of code here? No. This is user defined logic, and here which logic? Predefined logic. User defined logic, predefined logic. But their customization here, if you want to do customization, you have to override so many methods. But there you build your own logic. But here you are using existing logic. So that will avoid code redundancy, right? That will avoid code redundancy, right? So let me run this here. URL is defined here. Below here. URL is defined. Run server. One error is there.   . 。  . 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . 。 . . . . 。 . . 。 . . 。 . . . 。 . . 。 . 。 . . Where is this? So module object is not iterable. URL. So view from Django dot URLs. Import reverse. This is error. Type error in URL patterns. Where is it? Module object is not iterable. What is this error is? EMP list. What happened here? URL patterns. Circular importer. So create EMP. Huh? Huh? I removed this. So views. Just check this. Is a problem with this or not? Yeah. So the problem is So what is the name of this is success URL. So you have to define the success URL by using reverse, right? See, there are two methods you can use. One is reverse and one more is reverse lazy. When it required, then only it uses this. That is what do you mean by reverse lazy. But both are used for defining URL names. So from Django dot URLs import. So what is the name of this is reverse lazy. When it required, you can also use this. And what is the name of this is EMP list. Something will take. Okay. Now just go to urls.py. Here we'll define the name. What is the name is? Okay, we'll just give different name. List EMP. Uh, list EMP. So I just write here list EMP. See, both will return the URLs only, but when it required, it doesn't execute automatically, but when it required, then only it will invoke. So for that, you are using reverse lazy here. After this, now go to urls.py and define the path. So what is the path is create EMP and create EMP view as view as view, right? So then run the server now. You'll see any problem now? No. Yes. Now run the code. Now here create EMP. What is the name of the URL? Create EMP. Now you're saying employee number, employee name, job, salary. Employee number, employee name, job, and one more is what? Salary. Okay. Now you have to input all these details. Now you have to input all these details. Now see, because it is a primary key. So employee number 7, employee number 7. I'll try to input employee name. Okay, employee name, and there is a job, and one more is what here? Salary. And click on create. You can see one employee is inserted or not. Yes. Because on successful insertion, you redirect to which list? Employee list. Now, if you want here, you can put one back. So if I say back, then I should move to which one? Create. If I say back, otherwise I have to say back. Okay. So input the employee number and name of the employee, and there is a salary, I mean, job of the employee. This is a job of the employee, and this is what? Salary. And click on create. Now one more employee is inserted. But what will happen if I input the same employee number? Because employee number is a primary key or not? Yes. Now you can see the message. Employee with this employee number already exists. Means form validation is done or not? Yes. Form validation is done. Input data is put inside the form and it is trying to check, is it this input data is valid or not? But are you writing any logic for doing all this? No. You are not writing any logic for doing all this. You are simply giving some inputs. What are the inputs are given here? What are the inputs are given here? Inputs are given like model name, form class name, template name, and success URL. It means it is trying to handle how many requests? Two requests. Get request, post request. If the request method is get, it is giving one empty form. If the request method is get, it is giving one empty form. If the request method is post, whatever data you enter in the form, that is loaded inside the form, and it is checking, is it this data is valid or Not. If the data is valid, what it is doing, it is saving it. See here, this is a logic. Internally, what is the logic? This is a logic. If it is function based, if the request method is get, it is creating which form? Empty form. If the request method is post, what it is doing? It is loading this data into the form and checking is it this input data is valid or not. If it is valid, form dot save. Are you writing all this code? No. It is already written in which method? Post method. This logic is written in which method? Get method. This logic is written in which method? Post method. As logic is written in get method, this logic is written in which method? Post method. So you don't require to write the same code again and again. So that is the main advantage of using which views? Class-based views. That will avoid code redundancy. That will avoid what? Code redundancy. There is another view. There is another view. And what is that next view is edit view or update view. What is the name of the view is? Update view. You understood this one? Or bolo here. Okay, what you are doing first? Defining model, defining form class, defining template, defining success URL. This will assign what? URL. It will assign what? URL. What is a URL is? List TMP. It is a name or URL pattern? URL pattern. You can use even reverse also, but there we have given both same names, right? Yes. For example, I want to, I want to edit. I want to edit the employee details. I want to edit whose details? Employee details. Then how can I edit? For that, there is one view called update view. There is one view, and what is the name of that view is? Update view. So let us talk about that. So this is forms.py, but we'll develop one application using class-based views. A simple application I'll develop and show you. Okay, now this is a template and model is the same. And in urls.py, define the URL. See, already we developed this.
ଗୋକର୍ଣ୍ଣପୁରରୁ କଲ୍ ଆଇଲା ଗୋକର୍ଣ୍ଣପୁରରୁ
Logic for inserting data, handle get request and post request. And there is one more view. And what is the name of this view is
ଦିଦି
update view. There's another view
ସେଇଟା
called update view. So update view is
ସେଇଟା
a generic view.
ଡାକିଲା ଭଳିଆ
Update view is what?
ଡାକିଗଲା
Generic view.
ଆସିଯାଉଛି
How to update? We have seen. Okay. So we load the form data and then replace the old data with what? New data. Yes or no? Form.post instance. Okay. Then we validate the data using form dot is valid. If it is valid, you save the data within the model and then you redirect to which one? Success, right? Otherwise, it will generate error or not? Yes. Now, all these things can be avoided by just inheriting which view class? Update view class. Update view is used for updating one record or multiple records, one record. Update view is a generic view and used for updating single record, single record, or what is that? Row. Single record or row. Update view provides the following operations. Update view provides the following operations. What are the operations? First one is form what? Validations. Form validations, and rendering form into what? Template. Rendering form into template. Handling how many requests? Two requests. Handling two requests. One is get and one more is what? Post request. It will handle both the requests. One is a get. Get means I'll give the employee number. Then I should read those employee details and I should render that details into form so that you can update this and then click on submit. Click on what? Submit. Right? Handling get and post request and updating data, updating data within what? Model. So all these operations provided by which view? Update view. Getting or not? Just to see here. Very simple. Go to the views.py. Go to the views.py. Now this is update EMP view. And update EMP view is which view? Update view. Okay. And just import this update view here. So import the update view. Okay. Comma, update view. I imported this update view, right? So update EMP view, inherit update view, and which model you want to update? Employee. And what is the form class? Employee form. Okay, what is the form class is? Employee form. Because you want to input the data in this form. And what is the template name is? I can give the same template because create and update is same. Create and update is what? Same. I'm giving the same template name. I'm giving the same template name. If you want to give, you can give another template. Okay, no problem. Update emp dot html. I'm giving another template. Okay, unsuccessful, unsuccessful execution. I'm trying to display the list of employees. I just write list emp. Is it the same or different? Same. Now you have to create one template. What is the template you have to create? Update. Update emp dot update emp dot html. Update emp.html. The content of update emp.html is same like what? Create. But in the place of create, here I'm writing what? Update. In the place of create, what I'm writing here? Update. But how you update it? Just define the URL. Just define the URL. And what is the name of this is? Update. Update EMP view. And whenever you define the URL, you define the URL with what key? Primary key. You define the URL with what key? Primary key. So update EMP. You want to update the details of which employee, and that you are sending it as what? Captured parameter. You are sending that as a captured parameter as a part of which one? URL. As a part of URL. Update view as view. That's all. Update view as a view. That's all. Done this. Now, whenever you want to update any employee, you call update EMP by sending what? Employee number. You send an employee number. Send a request here. Okay, slash. What is the name of the URL? Update, update, EMP slash 1. I want to update the details of employee 1 here. Is it details are displayed or not? Yes. This is called which request? Array. This is called as which request? Get request. Get request. Reading data. Reading data is which request? Get request. And here I'll update. Means I'll modify the salary. I'll modify the salary and click on update. Is it employee salary is updated or not? Yes. Go to the back. Now just give the employee number. Employee number. Which employee you want to update? 5. Is it displayed employee 5 details or not? Yes. This is which request? Get request. Because you read the data and store inside the form or not? Yes. Now here you are modifying. You are modifying what you are modifying? Salary And you are updating which one? Job. I change the job from HR to what? Manager. Who is this here? This is 5. Is it modified or not? Yes. But are you write some code for updating here? No. That is taken care by which one? View. That is taken care by which class? View class only. Right? See here. Model name, form class name, template name, and success URL. This is called as which view? Update view. Simple है? क्या बोलते हैं यार? So, but अंदर का logic already सीखे अपन. Already we have seen the logic. Okay, how updation is done. Okay, how updation is done, but we are trying to reduce. Okay, writing the same code again and again. So update, this is update emp dot html. So form is the same. Form is what here? Same. Okay. Yes. Then in urls dot py. So define this URLs. Define this URL with the primary key. What is the value you are sending? Primary key. Means which employee you want to update, send that employee number. Which employee you want to update, send that employee number. Which employee you want to update, send that employee number. Okay, which employee you want to update, send that employee number. Okay, so clear? Then I want to delete. Okay, delete. There is one more view is there. And what is the name of the view is? Delete view. So delete view, again it is a generic view class. Delete view is a generic view class and used for deleting single what? Row or record. Single means always, it will try to delete it using which key? Primary key. Okay, delete view is used for deleting. Suppose primary key is not there, then you want to write your own logic. Can you write your own logic? Yes. You can write your own logic by overriding which method? Get query set method. By overriding which method? Get query set method. Okay. We'll see that also. Now delete view is use it to
चल
delete.
लाइना नहीं सा
Okay. Use it to delete. Okay. Using which value? Primary key value. Primary key value. So it will try to delete it using primary key value. So there is a class. What is the syntax is? Delete view provide all. What it
कॉलेज
will
वाली
provide? Tell me here. Delete view provides the
यार कॉलेज
following
टाइम में इन्होंने
operations. Following operations. What are the operations it will provide? Reading data from model. Which employee you want to delete? First it will read the details. After reading it, what will happen? Delete delete from what? Model. And redirecting to which one? Success URL. So these operations provided by which view? Delete view. Understood? Yes, you are not writing any code for deleting record. You are not writing any code for deleting record. The code is written in which view? Delete view class. But we'll discuss this, how to work with this delete view. And I'll tell you one application using all
Today.
class-based
But
views.
tomorrow.
I'll develop one simple application using all class-based views where we do the operations like inserting, deleting, updating, delete, and retrieving. All these operations will do it based on some business logics, right? So, but not today, but we'll see tomorrow that. Okay. Thank you. We'll see tomorrow. Right. And